cult like behavior, it's a cult like mentality. And there's this thing where he can just do absolutely no wrong. I don't get it, but again, I don't really have a cult like mentality. I just can't. I don't love to allow people to think for me. You know what I mean? It's not that I have a problem with authority or anything like that. I just want to think for myself and I don't want to follow behind somebody who is supposed to think for me. I don't know. I've just always been that way. I don't love that. But a lot of Trump supporters tend to just follow along. It's a very sheep like mentality, you know? So I was on what site was that, y'all? Let me tell y'all. Let me see if I still have it up. I might not have it up. Um, I can't remember, but I was on, oh, it was Politico, I believe. I was on Politico and it says Americans are sour on Trump ahead of State of the Union. I think the State of Union is Tuesday. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Now, before I get into this, I will preface this with a lot of their numbers come from like CNN, NPR, Washington Post. So I'm sure it's skewed a little bit because we know that CNN in and of itself, which I saw a lot of these polls connected to, is largely a Democratic audience. So do with that what you will. I just want to put it out there before people go running and being like, that's not true. Listen, do with the information as you wish. Okay. So new polls are showing that, the president's approval rating is falling among, again, Democrats and independents. However, it remains strong with Republicans. And I think it remains strong with Republicans because they have that cult-like mentality and they have this loyalness to Trump that is just it's like something I've quite literally never seen because he is such a big figure and they just really ignore where they are and what he is doing. And I don't understand why. I don't know if it's just because it's an outright, I want to disagree with the other side, or it's an outright disdain for the other side. What is it that drives you to support someone who quite literally is just not not who he appears to be? I don't know. I can't understand it. Okay. So now 39% of Americans approve of, how Trump is handling the country, and 40% of Americans strongly disagree. The White House spokesman Davis R. Ingalls said the ultimate poll was the election in 2024. I will not lie. Okay. He ate with that one. He said, look, I don't care nothing about y'all numbers. What happened at that election? Oh, I listen. Hey, when when you're right, you're right. You know what I mean? The people spoke then, and that's why he in that White House. So as far as the State of the Union, a lot of Democratic people, about 79 of them, 79%, I rather, will say that it'll be weak, right? Like his address is going to be weak because look at the country, And then 77% of Republicans say it's going to be a solid State of the Union because they believe the country is in good standing. Now, as I was reading through this, polls among the Republicans are strong, right? His numbers are high, but slowly they're starting to dip. And I think if we flash back to what we just talked about with the tariffs, where people he put into these seats are voting against him, the writing might be on the wall. Slowly but surely, people might be deprogrammed. They might step away from the cult. It will be surviving MAGA. You know what I mean? Especially as we look at, what Candace Owens is doing and how crazy it looks with Turning Point USA. The more he leans into that other side with them other people who they who shall not be named, the more he leans that way, I think that's where the dip is because everyone was for America first. That is why he was in the White House, is because he was so strong with that and he ran on this anti-war and we're going to build back up the economy, and when I was in the office the economy was good, and he just made Kamala look like she had no idea what to do when she got into office. But I think slowly but surely that will start to change. Now, will he lose you know um a large part of his fan base? No. But I think he will lose enough that they're going to be like a little shaken up. I do believe that because I just don't think he can continue on this way, especially with how he's carrying it. I don't see how. Like you had Marjorie Taylor Greene already jump ship. Slowly but surely people are going to start to jump ship because it's just not something that they can get behind. And I also don't believe everyone wants to play the game with who they're playing the game with, right? Like with who is supposed to be on their team. I don't know. I think people are going to start to jump ship and we're going to start to see a swing of people leaving being Trump supporters, but it's going to take a lot. Let's be honest. It is going to take a lot because they love that man, y'all. They love that man down.